What's up, people? So, I watched this, the reply from Mr. Juggernaut 44. And, man, you don't get what I'm saying. Not only did you point out 95% of things that I said, you took a lot of things out of context. I made my points about the exclusives, but then I went further to point out that they were making bad choices with certain figures that they were making, giving a slot in certain waves. And I focused on Hyperion because realistically, the awareness for Hyperion is not up there with the awareness of, most other Marvel characters, especially their A-list characters. He's definitely like a D-list character. And he's just not original enough, in my opinion. Shit, it's not even an opinion. You just look at him. He's not original enough to take a slot from someone like Miss Marvel or a modern Rogue figure, old school Jim Lee Jean Grey or Jim Lee Cyclops. I mean, tons of figures before him. But somehow my opinion hurt your feelings, you know? And so you wanted to defend the fact that Hyperion is not a whack character. Okay, fine, whatever, you like him. But this is the problem. He's a Superman analog. And most Superman analogs are not very masterfully written, and they just pretty much take an existing character, Superman, and then write him kind of opposite of what he really is. Now, if you didn't create that character, and you just bite off the original, like take Avatar here. I created Avatar. She is a goody good, very good, honest person. And you like the design, but you want her to be a villain. Why should I give you props for biting off my character and just making her a villain? You didn't do shit. All you did was look at an existing character and just add the opposite generic thought process to making them do things you thought would be funny. In some cases it works, but in others it's just you're copying. It's lame. You know what I mean? And I don't approve of that. I think it's fair to say that a character is successful for specific things, and if this is the way he was created to be, he needs to stay that way. Leave it alone. Don't just bite off of him. You can't give credit to people for just jacking other people's characters. Now, if you like that, that's you. But I don't. There was a lot of contempt in your video, which is where I'm coming from when I'm saying I must have hurt your feelings with the fact that I don't dig Hyperion. But Strydent the ninja, no, the people I talk to are my ninjas. I guess I'd be included in it, but, I don't call myself the ninja. The name comes from a specific place, and, most of my viewers know where it comes from. The fact that, man, you had these goofy Last Dragon pictures up there, trying to indicate that this is some kind of battle. It's not a battle. It's not at all. It's not a battle at all. I'm not even going to go the route that some people go, but I could quote a very famous quote just to put this in perspective. I am surgical with my shit. When I get on these things, I give people facts. And when I have my opinion, I got more information to back that shit up, and I can point you in the direction from where you could get this information to, so that you can come to the conclusions, that don't make you sound like a generic YouTube fanboy. So, you want to make this look like it's a fight or a battle or something, but, it's not. It's not. This is straight surgery. Just understand that. I'm just telling people the truth based on factual information that exists. The fact of the matter is Hyperion, as much as you love the character, he can't outsell Superman. Most Superman analogs do not outsell Superman. It's just the way it works. The only ones that have come close, DC owns them. And for you to sit there and make it sound like what I'm saying is just some kind of joker, what you're saying makes more sense. I mean, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but the facts are the facts, and they will remain the facts even after we're done and we pass on and it's done. The factual thing here. You made an analogy about Dennis Rodman. who is a household name, especially in sports-focused households, especially basketball-focused households. Many people in the United States know Dennis Rodman from all of his antics from when he was playing basketball, you know, especially during his time on the Bulls, all the way to when he married Carmen Electra and when he married himself and all the bad movies and shit. Matter of fact, he was just in the news for going to North Korea. So when you bring up a person like Dennis Rodman and then you try to talk about his time on what was it, the Mavericks, I think it was, and you say that would be if he was a figure and you had figures of him on the Bulls, which is where he's well known as, but then you have the figure of him on the Mavericks. Come on, dude, it's Dennis Rodman. The guy himself is a brand. That's like saying, let's have Batman on the Justice League, or Batman as a Green Lantern, or Batman as a Yellow Lantern. It doesn't matter, it's Batman. Everyone knows who he is. Your analogy is garbage in that case. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing. We're not talking about someone making up a Dennis Rodman analog and then putting him to the forefront and then making a figure of him in a line where he's surrounded by better, more well-known characters. We're just not, and that's not the case, you know? It's one of those things. The analogs just don't seem to do it. They just don't. And we were talking about characters that are more well-known that could have taken that slot. And more importantly, we weren't even talking, the video was not even about that. That was just one example of a poor choice on a company's part, you know, in my opinion. Because, I mean, the economy's bad. You know what I mean? Why take a chance on something you don't need to take a chance on? We were actually talking about exclusives, and we were talking about, you know, the effect on the consumer and the company. Also, you bring up basketball, we're talking about superheroes. Stay on point, homie. I mean, it's very simple. I hate these arguments because people want to make the point and the topic their own, as opposed to arguing with intelligence and not just arguing for the sake of arguing. And this happens too much on YouTube. There are so many other people that would have made a better choice. You know what I'm saying? On the Marvel Legends roster. So many. We already had characters that never got a figure. You could have used them. You have several opportunities that were missed when Toy Biz was doing the Marvel Legends, when they had the Marvel Legends license. You have characters on teams that we weren't able to complete when we were collecting the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. This would have been a proper opportunity to take advantage of that. You know, as far as exclusives go, there are millions of more original characters that are more deserving of, you know, being an exclusive. For instance, the Blue Marvel. That's an exclusive. He was one of a kind. He only showed up in, like, what? He had his own little mini-series, and that's it. And we know why they didn't go back and use him again. I've already been over this, you know? He's black. But this is a character that's original. They never made another character like him. He was so powerful that he could beat Hyperion and he could beat the freaking Sentry. He deserves a fucking exclusive slot, not these two jack-offs. And I'm going to take it one step further, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they never make any more figures of Squadron Supreme. I mean, just look at them. They're not exactly visually appealing. They come from a very adult-themed book. And, I mean, visually, like I said, they're not appealing. A lot of these toys have been designed. They pick characters that they know, based on their design, would appeal to the masses as well as the collectors. Visual merchandising is a big part of selling comics and selling comic book characters, because just what they're doing with films, trying to make them appeal to the masses as well as the fans, is what they're doing with these toys. And, you know, believe it or not, kids do pay attention to these figures, just not in the way they used to, you know, but companies are still banking on them. They're banking on the mass proletariat to make them their money. That's why lines like Marvel Legends show up in places like Target, Toys R Us, Walmart, Kmart's, some of the drugstores. You know what I mean? It's not some kind of mistake. It's part of the plan. I mean, on TV as it stands, you don't really see comic book characters the way you once did. Instead, you see them in films. The films are 2-3 hour commercials, or 1 hour, 2 hour commercials, more like, of these characters. So kids would want to buy the movie versions of said characters. But if you look at the company's track records, they've even been screwing up with making decent releases of all the characters in those movies. But that, honestly, is the big seller. That's where people would be seeing all these characters. That's where kids would see them, because they don't really read the comics. We do. Adults do. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. And once again, as for the subject of Hyperion, your opinion doesn't change the quality of the overall thing that we're discussing. Toy Biz Marvel Legends they were better as far as quality goes. And that was only one of the points that I made in the previous video that I articulated extremely well. I mean, when I go back and I listen to it, you can tell I'm telling you facts about quality. I'm telling you facts about how the line sold, characters that people enjoyed. I mean, I'm just telling you how it was in an extremely clear kind of fashion. My goal when I made that video was to inform everybody about what the issue is with exclusives, what's been going on with them, and what's lacking, and kind of what I would wish would happen at some point, because it kind of seems like it's a practice that doesn't benefit the companies anymore. It benefits scalpers more than anything now. But I was trying to give information as well as make my point, but it seems like it didn't really come across the right way for you. So we'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, but just understand where I'm coming from, though, at least in some way, shape, or form. And it's on the record. You know what I mean? This is my third video on this subject. I do believe that there are plenty of Marvel Legends figures in the Return of Marvel Legends. The slots that they used for those figures should have been given to more well-known characters that did not get figures in Toy Biz's Marvel Legends line. But the exclusives rant or video was about how exclusives do not benefit a company, and they're not really that good to us, because it's in certain situations it alienates the very people that are the fan base that they're making these figures for. So anyway, I am Strydent, not the ninja, just Strydent. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I will see you all on the next video. Peace outside, people.